Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Theresa Hawco from 31 Virtues. And as many of you know right now, that every month I put out a video where I interview a guest on a particular virtue. And today's virtue is a really important one, I believe. It's balance. It could be balance in anything, but we are going to be specifically talking about balance for weight maintenance. As you all know, one of the biggest selling products in the world is diets, weight loss, all this kind of thing. Well, I don't, and my guest today doesn't believe in diets. They don't work. I mean, the thing is, if they did work, they wouldn't need to sell so many products, right? So today we're going to talk about balance, and I'm excited to talk to you about this really, really important subject. And before we go any further, my special guest, Maria Mosca, she lost 70 pounds. Can you imagine 70 pounds? And she's never felt healthier than she feels today. So we're going to talk a little bit about the psychology, I guess, behind her amazing journey. But I want to let you know, I'm going to put all of Maria's contact information in this video, so you can, I'm sure you'll want to contact her after we're done. And she got with her 70-pound weight loss through a system called R3. And so you'll probably want to contact her for that. And so I guess I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Maria. She's an amazing woman. You know, some people you meet and they look really nice on the outside, but she is just beautiful on the outside and on the inside. And she's just this authentic, genuine woman. And this is why I chose to ask her to talk to us about balance. So Maria, thank you so much for joining us. I know we're going to have such a great chat, and we're going to help a lot of people learn a little bit more about balance and how to get it and how to keep it. So Maria, welcome.
Thank you so much, Theresa, for having me here today. I really appreciate you and appreciate everything that you do. And I love learning about all your virtues. So thanks for having me today.
Oh, you're welcome. Maria, one of the first things I want to ask you about is many of us that have been on diets, we've been on many diets. Yes. And I'm sure people looking on can relate to that. So what was your pivotal moment when you said, that's it, I'm done, no more diets, I'm going to find a new way? Can you talk to us about that?
Yes, thank you for asking that. You know, Theresa, the word diet is just such a negative connotation to it. It's almost like giving you permission, like, oh, this is just short term, it's just a quick fix. Mm-hmm. And usually that ends up not being sustainable. Yeah. And what really was the pivotal moment for me where I was like, okay, I've had enough now, because I had been on diets that all they focused on was elimination versus moderation. Mm-hmm. And I'd lose the 30 pounds and then put it back. Then I'd lose 40 pounds and put it back. And, you know, it was always about, you know, you can't have carbs and you can't have sugar and you can't have fat and can't have dairy. And it got to a point now where I was gaining more than I was losing. And I obviously raved havoc on my metabolism. And the pivotal moment, the day came when I got on the scale and it said 248.8 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall. I looked down at the scale and I said, wow, I am literally 1.2 pounds away from saying 250. How did I get to this point? And I thought, enough is enough. I had already been watching my husband using this program that's based on science and psychology. And he started before I did. He started in March of last year and was having great success. And I was kind of inspired looking, because usually it's, me saying to him, hey, let's do something together.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I need to pay attention here. And I'm so glad that I did, because at the end of the day, I just got tired of making resolutions.
Yeah.
And I decided to create healthy habits instead.
Thank you. So basically you thought, I'm going to be more true to myself than some diet this or diet that or whatever. And I guess too with your husband, looking at him, you're going, oh, okay, he's a walking motivation, really. And you mentioned elimination, and everybody viewing us now can say, oh my gosh, it's like you throw your hands up, and anyone for 10, 20, 30 days can eliminate 75% of the food. But then what? And so we know that elimination does not work. And you mentioned moderation. Can you speak a little bit about that? About just like the system that you were on, or you are on, how does that work with moderation as opposed to elimination?
Right. So when I started this new program, and what I was so excited about is the first time I ever saw a program where thousands were having success on it, and there was no elimination of any food groups. And we were being taught that food is meant to be enjoyed, and you can enjoy all foods. It's all about balance, like we're talking about today, and balancing the carbs, the proteins, the fats, where I always thought, well, carbs are the enemy, fat's the enemy. I in order to lose weight, I can only have protein and vegetables. And, I've done so many programs. I did one crazy program, Theresa, where I was told to eliminate sugar, carbs, dairy, including oils, because oils are fattening, no fat, and strictly stick to literally non-starchy vegetables. Wasn't even allowed to have fruit or potatoes, non-starchy vegetables, and a protein. And you can only sustain that for so long. And then your body, it's depriving. And sure, I lost weight. And then when I finally decided to, slowly reintroduce foods again, the body just held on to it. So I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way. And there's got to be a better way. Food is meant to be enjoyed. And everything should be enjoyed in moderation. And I used to always hear that, enjoy in moderation. So now when you're in control and you're being told you can have anything in moderation, and really learning how to balance the carbs, the fats, and the proteins, you now make better choices of what you want to have and what you want to eat and what you want to put into your body. And it's really learning also how to master your metabolism and enjoying the foods that you want to eat. And it's suitable for everyone. And the other thing it taught me too is it helped me heal the gut too, because I did so much damage to my gut. Yeah. If you heal your gut, you heal your body.
Yeah.
Because again, I thought again, fat's the enemy, carb is the enemy. Well, I'm Italian. I grew up on carbs. So that's when I decided, you know what? I love that this was based on science and psychology. And the psychology piece is that, you get to choose what you want to eat. And then of course, in having it in moderation. So everything can be enjoyed, and balancing the carbs, the fat, and the protein, and getting rid of those unhealthy habits.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's really about, it truly is about a balance because, it's as important to have protein as it is good, healthy carbs. I mean, you know, human nature is if you say you can't have it, that's when you crave it. You want it. And it's like you'll do whatever it takes to get it. And so the thing is really, it's really about re-educating ourselves because in a healthy way. Because what I have found, even in my own personal life, you know, 20 years or more ago, um, it was, I had myself educated in potato, not good, bad, and this carrots good, and I had these good foods and bad foods, and so it's a complete re-education of um, giving yourself permission to have all the foods, just a balance of it, and in moderation. That brings me to a question. When you found that you were giving your body all the foods in moderation, did you find that on this system that the cravings stopped?
Yes, the mindset kicked in, because the mindset, now I wasn't being told, like you said, you can't have it, because now, of course, by nature, you want it even more, you crave it even more. It's not sustainable to be told you can't, you can't, you can't. And now I'm being told you can. And learning how to balance, the proteins, fats, and the carbs, now I was choosing the healthy carbs, right?
Right.
I was excited to be able to have, I can have a baked potato. I can have a sandwich with bread. I can make a tuna wrap. I can have rice with my salmon, where, before I was told, you can't have carbs at all. And then when I saw that balancing it and having a carb, once a day added to one of my meals, and not feeling deprived and I'm missing out on anything, and I'm still losing the weight, that kept me going. That kept the motivation going, because I'm seeing the results and I'm not being deprived or told I can't. So, I mean, sure, I can have pizza and ice cream, but am I going to have that every day? No, but it's nice to know that I can. And the other thing too, Theresa, is, when people go out or they're going out for dinner, let's say with friends, and they want to enjoy, right? You're at a restaurant, and I hear so many friends say, I'm going to cheat tonight. And I correct them now. I say, no, You're not going to, there's no such thing as cheating. Okay. It's such a negative connotation. You're going to enjoy a meal of your choice. It's not cheating. You're going to enjoy your meal of your choice. You're making that decision. Why is food and the word cheat? I mean, look at the word cheat. Eat is the last 3 words.
Exactly.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. So, but I used to believe that, right? I used to believe that, if I'm going to, eat this meal, I'm actually cheating. And, if you look at the word believe or belief, the word LIE is in the middle of that lie. That's the lie I was telling myself, that if I eat that, I'm actually, doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
And yet food is meant to be enjoyed, again, in moderation. And you can't sustain eliminating food and food groups. You only sustain that for so long. And even on my journey, I love ice cream. So, if I decided that, my balance today, okay, won't run tonight. I'm going to save my carb, in moderation. I'm going to choose that ice cream. My husband and I would go out for an ice cream, and we'd enjoy a small ice cream versus a large. Yeah. But the weight is still coming off, and I'm not being told I can't have it. Exactly. When you can't have it, you want it even more. So
yeah, and what that kind of system does is it frees you right? It gives you freedom. It's, you don't, because then any of us that's been on a diet, we feel at that time, if you go out to dinner or go to a friend's place for dinner or anything like that, you feel like a bit of an outcast,
And
right?
it's
That you can only
stressful.
have certain things. And so, yeah, thank you for saying that. It's so true. It's like when you're the one in control of your body,
Mhm.
and you know that you can choose whatever, it's
Yeah.
up to you. And it's really about re-education, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Retraining your brain. It's so liberating.
Yeah,
And yeah, it used to be stressful, like knowing like, okay, we're going out for dinner. And I used to go online and check out what the restaurant had on their menu. And
yeah,
so I would already know, okay, this is what I'm going to order. This is what I'm going to order. Like it was so stressful. It was like, now I love that I can go to a restaurant and when I get there, I get there. And if I'm in the mood to have pasta, I'm going to have the pasta.
exactly.
If I want to order a pizza, I'm going to order a pizza and not feel guilty about it. There's no guilt, no fail,
Yeah,
because again, you're in control of what you choose to eat. And it's not, I'm not going to eat a pizza every night, but it's nice to know that when I go out, I can enjoy anything I want on that menu. And
exactly.
again, having the balance, but it is very liberating. It is so liberating when you retrain the brain and learn how to balance, that it all falls into place, and it's so fantastic. And another thing that I made sure that I incorporated too, Teresa, because we tend to forget about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We're so busy taking care of the world.
Mhm.
Women, we want to take care of everything, right?
Yeah,
I said, you know what? No matter what, every day I'm going for a walk.
yeah,
I'm going to even put it in my calendar. That's my fun form of exercise.
yeah.
And my sister, for my birthday last May, she bought me this Fitbit. I love it because it tracks, making sure I'm doing my 10,000 steps a day. And again, that's another mindset I had that was like, oh, really, does that even work? Again, it's all about moderation. Once again,
Yeah.
fit it into your schedule. You gotta move. You gotta move. And I just started walking. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't, go do some, you know, big classes at a gym, or, nothing was open at a gym. Gyms were shut down anyways.
Yeah.
But I thought I enjoy walking. I listened to podcasts, got to listen to you the other day while I was walking, and I listen to good music. I might make a few phone calls and enjoy catching up with people, but I walk, and I walk those 10,000 steps, and I enjoy, and that's fun. And that's, you're burning calories and you're having fun. So movement, I thought that was so important too.
Yeah.
And having the balance, because again, people think, well, I'll just work out harder, because I want to eat this and that, but I'll work out harder. Well, you can't outrun your fork.
Yeah.
So everything in moderation is important.
Absolutely. What I hear you say, really, the psychology part of it is you're putting you first. You're following a good program, and one that's tried and true. It's not like some new latest thing. And you're picking something. What do I like to do that's active? Oh, I like to walk. Okay, I'm going to walk and put it in my calendar. You know, as a we have a tendency, especially women, I find, of we'll change our calendar to accommodate someone else. And so part of self-love is putting yourself in the calendar too.
Absolutely.
And so by loving yourself, by doing this walk, you feel better. And when you feel better, it's at that point you can give more to people that you
You feel
love
better.
anyway,
Yes,
right? Now,
absolutely.
I have a question. As we know, old habits die hard. So when you first started on this system, and usually in the beginning we're excited and pumped, and then as we go along, we have to find ways to motivate ourselves to stay with any program. So what did you do? Because all thinking will come back, right? It's just human behavior. So what did you do to motivate yourself to stay on track?
Oh, that's a great question. And this program's been around for 24 years. So
Oh,
I became part of the online community. It's a private group. So I was invited into the group. So drawing inspiration and empowerment from others, thousands of others that have lost anywhere from 10 pounds over 100 pounds.
wow.
And following different recipes people are sharing, and really embracing this great community, this forum of positivity, and getting the encouragement and learning from others. And I thought that was really good to align myself with those that are on the same page and motivated to make a difference. I literally blocked out the noise. I'm like, I don't ever want to see or hear about another diet out there ever again. And especially when I hear, if you don't do this for this, you'll lose weight. I'm running for the hills. I'm like, I've got this down pat now. I get to enjoy life. I feel like I got my life back. It's liberating to know that I can have anything I want, again, in moderation, learning that. I used to hear the word, everything in you've always heard,
Yeah,
everything in moderation, but nobody ever taught it. What does that mean, everything in moderation? Like I can have a bite or I can have the whole thing. What
right.
does moderation mean? And so learning that, being part of that community really has helped. And I also seeked out anyone like a buddy, a partner, who else wants to, do this with me. And it was nice to have my husband. And then I, of course, locked arms with a few friends that were like, hey, I need to lose some weight, or I put on a few pounds, and being able to be that support system to each other. It's been fantastic, really fantastic. And it does put your mind and your space in a positive light. And then I never thought of myself as being the person who would inspire others. Like now I get like emails and letters and cards like, you've changed my mindset, my outlook. You've inspired me. The other day I had a woman reach out to me and say, my 24-year-old daughter is 6 feet tall like you, and never just thought she was going to be overweight forever. And she started the program because you inspired her, because she looked to you as like, okay, that's me. We're not the same age, but you know what? We're the same body type and height.
Right.
And now she's down 30 pounds in the last 5 months, and she's never felt better. She has more confidence. And her mother called me to tell me this. And I was like, I was in tears. I'm like, who would have thought? Like, I'm so happy to hear that. But that's what she said, Mom, I'm going to do what Maria's doing, because she's my height. And I think I need to learn from that. And so that's what keeps me going, Theresa.
Oh,
Really.
that's,
Stories like that.
yeah, that's such a nice story. And I guess it really boils down to we never ever know in life uh, who we're inspiring or motivating. And you touched on something really, really important. There's so many times in life we feel like, we've got to go it alone, right? And at the end of the day, it is up to us to make the changes for our life. But you mentioned like a buddy system.
Yeah.
And, that is one thing that I would like to reiterate to anyone watching here is you don't have to go it alone. You can always find some buddies that will go with you, or ask them to be your support system in those weaker times. I mean, we all have weak times. And so I think, Maria, you're totally right on the mark there about, not doing it alone and having other people there as a buddy system, a support. Your sister gave you the Fitbit, and it's because I think most people at the end of the day want the best for us.
Right.
And so, and of course, when it comes to weight loss, losing 70 pounds, you can't hide that progress from anyone, right? Because
Right.
you were telling me earlier, a friend of yours, a couple of friends of yours saw you, hadn't seen you in a while and go, okay, who took the rest of you?
Yes.
And,
What happened? Yeah, it was
and
great.
so you're just a walking billboard, and and a really good one, healthy one at that. But you're so right. Can you talk a little bit about, you mentioned earlier, and I know this from personal experience too, that when you take care of your health, you know, the the outer uh, the outer part of us shows we says we look healthy, and especially if you lost 70 pounds, you went from this to that. And but can you talk a little bit about how healthier, much healthier you feel on the inside compared to when you carried around an extra 70 pounds? Because you talked about gut health, and that's really important.
Oh, so important, gut health. And I want everybody to know too, I just celebrated 2 days ago my 52nd birthday.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm 52 and I feel healthier today than when I was, if you reverse those numbers, I feel healthier today than when I was 25.
yeah.
And it's so fun because you know more, right?
Uh-huh.
And you listen and you learn and you watch what's going on. But yes, gut health. If you have a healthy gut, because your gut is responsible for a good 70% of your immune system, then of course you heal the body. And I know I had done so much damage by this yo-yoing and yo-yo dieting. I know I wreaked a lot of havoc on my metabolism and on my own insulin. If you don't have healthy insulin levels, people think, oh yeah, if you don't have healthy insulin, I get it. Your insulin spikes and you crave the sugar and carbs. Well, what people don't realize, it's not just that. It also, when you do decide to hunker down and eat the good foods, even the good fats, now you have unhealthy insulin. Insulin will just tell your body to store it as fat. It
Yeah.
won't even metabolize it. You need to fix that. And it all comes from healing the gut. So I make sure that I get adequate fiber. I make sure that I take a really good quality probiotic and prebiotic. And I take really good quality digestive enzymes and a multivitamin. And that's all part of mastering your metabolism too.
Yeah.
And then I live in I detoxed my home. I live in a home that is surrounded by eco-friendly products, eliminating products that, parabens and triclosan and phthalates, all those toxins that are in everyday products that also wreak havoc on the metabolism. I didn't really even realize that until I got educated on that, because, these harsh chemicals sit in our fat cells. And now, that wreaks havoc on our metabolism. So that's when I learned to, it's really, detox in the home and really not focusing on gut health and fixing that gut, because then that heals the body and it just makes you a really proficient fat burning machine too, which is awesome. And I feel like I finally have my metabolic rate where it's supposed to be. And so now I'm metabolizing food better. I'm more healthier for it.
Yeah.
My skin has never felt better, and I will age gracefully. Other than really good, skin creams, I'm like going to age gracefully, and I'm fine with that, and I just am feeling so healthier and more vibrant today, literally, than I did at 25.
That is awesome. I mean, it's a it's a, like you were talking about, no toxins in your outer world and your inner world, and that's really the important thing, is making sure. I mean, it's our temple, right?
Yes.
And so it is important to pay attention to what we put in. And I think, as you probably saw, the loss of weight, uh, then your temple becomes even more important because it'll work for us for many, many years to come if we treat it well. It's one of the questions I have, it's a little bit of a shift, is when we establish, new patterns in our life and new eating habits and all kinds of great things like that, there's still old thinking comes up, right? Because I know with me, I haven't dieted for like 30 years or close to it.
Right.
But every once in a while, I'll get this silly thought, and it would be a diet thought. So, um, how what do you do to, um, not buy into these old thought patterns? And what do you tell yourself? How do you change from an old thought pattern to something that will serve you?
That's a great question. I think of how good I feel. I start looking at new photos that have been taken recently of me, and I look at old photos, and I'm like, they're night and day. And I remind myself, I'm literally 8 pounds away from being my weight I was on my wedding day 20 years ago this August. And that keeps me motivated too. And then the other thing also is everything fits so nice. I think of, wow. And I try to teach people too, don't just focus on the scale. Think of the inches you've lost.
Mhm.
Like I think I'm actually smaller now than when I did get married. Like maybe the scale said what it said, but I fit in, for example, I have these really nice dressy black pants. Black pants. They're pretty, they're like a little, they're kind of flary, but very light. And something that never goes out of style.
Right.
And they're my favorite. I never threw them out, Theresa. I love them. They're very dressy. I think I wore them twice. I brought them on my honeymoon. I wore them once on my honeymoon. I wore them once another time. I haven't fit into them since my honeymoon 20 years ago. And I wore them the other night when we went out for my birthday dinner, and I'm walking. I'm like, I feel like $1 million. Like, I can't believe I fit into these pants. And then at one point, my husband said, "Honey, I hate to tell you, but those pants don't fit you." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "They're too big." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you noticed?" Like, he kept seeing me pull them up.
Yeah.
Because they kept falling, like a little bit falling. Then I pull them up, and he would see them like, he goes, "They're slipping away from you." And I'm like, "I know, but I really like them." And he goes, "Then get them taken in because they're too big on you now." I said, "But I don't understand. I'm 8 pounds away from my weight I was when we were on our honeymoon." He goes, "I know, but you've lost inches."
Exactly.
And I was kind of like laughing to myself going like, but you have that persona of like, oh no, sometimes you still think your mind, like you think like, okay, I'm still big. Right. And then until you put on clothes and you go, oh no, the weight is gone. The inches are gone. And so that keeps me from going back to any old habits. And not only that, but just a shift happens too, Theresa. Like, it's just, I can't even explain, like a mind shift where you've created such healthy habits that sometimes I do go back to like, I remember when I used to do this.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't miss that. Or I can't believe I used to do this. Like the mindless late night eating in front of the TV.
Yes.
Now I couldn't eat before I go to bed. I wouldn't sleep right now. I go to bed and I sleep like a baby all night. Like I don't wake up till the morning. Like, so that too deters me from falling back into those unhealthy habits I had in the past, where if I wanted to watch a TV show, it was synonymous with snacking.
Yeah.
And I learned that I can have snacks, healthy snacks. Now I crave the healthy snacks. Like I love grabbing like, chop up an apple and grab walnuts and, dark chocolate, delicious,
Yeah,
versus having a pint of Ben and Jerry ice cream.
exactly.
Right. But I don't need it. That's the thing. I don't need it. I can enjoy a TV show and it doesn't have to go with mindless eating.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, anyone on any diet can lose a few pounds
Right.
quickly for a short period of time. But once you blend a healthy system and change the psychology, because the thing that I have found through my coaching and my work is if you can change the program and get on a healthy system, then you've conquered it. It's like you can finally say goodbye diet, because it becomes a complete lifestyle change, and it not only changes your outer garment,
Yes.
but it changes the neural pathways to the brain. You know, you drop there's no more good foods or bad foods.
Right.
You start making different selections, and it's giving yourself permission. I can have whatever I want when I want. I'm just going to make really good choices.
Right.
And that for the psyche is so empowering, because it puts the control back into our hands.
Right.
And that's what creates the lasting effect of having a good system, and especially with making the changes to your psychology as well. And I think as we know, diets don't work. So whenever we've done diets and all we changed was the diet part of whatever we were taking in for a short period of time, because to me, as soon as you eliminate anything, you set yourself up for failure almost right away. Would you what do you feel about that?
Absolutely. Again, diet is like you're giving yourself permission that it's temporary,
Yeah.
and it's a quick fix.
Yeah.
And, I want to lose 20 pounds in 20 days. Well, it's not conducive. And you'll put it right back on and then some, because your body feels so deprived. And, I've always, I was at fault for this too in my younger years. Like if I didn't lose 5 pounds in a week, I was failing,
Yeah.
and then learning that healthy weight loss, is anywhere from 0.2 upward of 2 pounds a week. That's healthy weight loss. You're not starving yourself.
Yeah.
And you're not depriving yourself. And your food is meant to nourish your body and to be enjoyed. And,
Yes.
and that's what I've loved on this journey. And, and also, I went into menopause very early. I've been in menopause for 5 years.
Yeah.
And so, at one point, I believed, right, the lie I told myself, right, the word lie and the word believe.
Yeah.
I told myself, oh, this is happening because I'm premenopause.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's because I'm overeating and late night binging and vicious cycle over and over again. Then I go on a diet for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, take the weight off, and then binge all over again. And it's a vicious circle. When does this end? I'm doing it to myself. And I had to tell myself the truth. Like, okay, enough is enough. And then, like I said to you, when that scale hit 248.8, Theresa, I looked at that scale and I said, okay, the days of needing to lose 30 or 40 pounds have now gone to 80 pounds.
Yes.
And, for my height, my ideal weight is supposed to be between 146 and 176.
Right.
And, the day I got married, I was 170 and felt fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm looking at the scale going, I got to lose 80 pounds now.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'm not getting on the circuit. I'm not joining the circus again. I'm not doing this again. Because right away, like you said, your mind right away for a second will go to, okay, what did I do in the past that I lost the weight really quick? Oh yeah, eliminated almost every food group.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that again. I said, I've got to find a program where I can enjoy life and social life and food and moderate and learn how to eat everything properly.
Yeah.
I need to learn this. And that's when I found the right sensible program. And that was not a diet. And that's what brought me the success where I'm at today.
Yeah. Well, I'm very proud of you for doing what you're doing, what you've done in your weight loss, healthy weight loss. There's a big difference between quick weight loss and healthy weight loss, and really what you're talking about is a retraining of the foods, how your eating habits, and a retraining of all that, but also a retraining of your mind. What kind of exercise do I want to do? Oh, the one I love the most is walking. I'm going to do that. And the thing is the consistency of it. Right. And it's kind of like, I'll do it and it feels good, and then I'll do it more because it feels good, and right. It keeps going and on and on. So, okay, so I'm going to bring you back to when you were 48 pounds, and just go inside and how did you feel physically? How did you feel within your body? I mean, never mind like the clothes and stuff like that, but what's the difference now with you? Your stomach is working properly, and you're getting exercise daily, and you're eating great foods daily. And so how do you feel, like just your body, compared to when you were, pulling along 70 extra pounds? I mean, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah. So, I felt like tired, lethargic, I bloated, and yet knowing how awful I felt, the cravings were even more present. Like I would crave more sugar, crave more carbs. And I had to, when I finally started the program, it was exactly what you said. They, retrain the brain. Yeah. And, I wasn't sleeping, and I always been a good sleeper. I could go to bed and sleep 7-8 hours uninterrupted. I don't even move. Yeah. And that's like really getting into the REM mode of sleeping properly, where I wasn't sleeping properly either. And then, slowly, starting the program and feeling better and seeing myself sleep better and not feeling so bloated and tired, and after feeling like the afternoon, like I want to take an afternoon nap, and I never did, but my body felt like I needed to. And, and again, I just started, okay, I'm increasing my water intake, making sure, again, taking care of my gut health, because I knew I had to fix that. And on the program, I'm eating every 2-3 hours. So I was like, okay, like I get to eat here. Yeah. And that's to keep the metabolism stoked. And then, being in control of choosing what I get to eat. Yes. And that was the biggest thing, because, you get tired of being told, this is the exercise you're going to do. And it might be an exercise, well, I don't enjoy it. If I don't doing it, yeah, right? And then being told you can only eat this. Well, again, how long is that going to last? You have to enjoy what you're doing. So I thought, I'm going to move. I need to move. So what do I like to do? I ask myself, like, what do I like to do? I like walking. And when I remember, like, and I didn't start the program till June last year, but it was almost like my sister was like my little, like, oh, here's a gift for you. And I'm like, oh, a Fitbit. This is really cool. Oh, I've heard about these. She's like, well, I know you like walking, maybe you should start walking again. That you enjoyed that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I should. But it was like that little extra push.
Yeah.
And then having the accountability partnership too, right? Having accountability partners,
Yeah.
encouraging me along the way. And, that kept me going too. But what a difference getting rid of that feeling. And that's what keeps me away from going down that road, because I think back to that, like Theresa, it's so good to even say it out loud, because as I'm saying it and telling you how I felt,
Yeah.
even my body right now is like, oh, please don't ever do that again to me. I can feel it like right now saying, do not go down that road again.
Yeah.
I can feel my body wanting to run away from me. Okay. So, but it's all mindset, right? Really, really mindset.
Yeah. It's, I think what you've talked about is so important. It's about, having a good program. It's like jumping in your car and having a good navigation system, right? You go, oh my God, 248 pounds. No, that's it. I'm done. And so, and then you go, now what? How do I get to where I want to go? And so it's having that navigation system. And that's where your R3 program comes into effect. And what I really like about it, because I do not promote diets at all.
Right.
They just bring you down a slippery slope, as we both know. But what I do believe in is when you mix science with psychology, and you have a complete program that can help someone along their way. And that's what I really, really like. And so that's why I wanted to have you here today to talk about that, and to talk about some of the, the importance of balance. I mean, when you feel balance, it feels good, right? Because it's like, your the chemicals in your insides feel balanced and feels good. Because if you're, imbalanced, it creates so much of the cortisol levels, the stress hormones in your system, and it doesn't feel good. So balance is really an important thing. And the other thing you mentioned was, moderation, not elimination. I wish they'd take the word out of the dictionary, elimination, when it comes to weight loss, because the thing is, it's just a failure setup. That's just what it is. Because as soon as you got to be eliminating anything, our human nature starts to fight back and goes, nope, I want it more now. I mean, it's about giving yourself permission and just choosing better. And
Sure.
balance is such an important thing. And Maria, you have given us so many insights today. Thank you so very much in coming to talk with us. And I just know that many people watching this video is going to want to reach out to you and contact you. And I mean, you are living proof that you can help them with this. And I really appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you and your time and everything you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Before we go, any last minute insight you'd like to share with whoever's watching?
I do. I have one more thing. I also avoided shopping for anything that says diet this or fat free that.
Yeah.
You know what? Too many artificial ingredients. And I thought, no, for example, I used to buy fat-free yogurt.
Yeah.
And I learned, you know what? No, I'm going to buy the full fat Greek yogurt, high in protein, low carb, low sugar. And I can flavor it up myself with good wholesome fruit or nuts in there. And I thought, I'm not doing that craziness anymore, because again, that wreaks havoc on your metabolism when you're adding artificial ingredients in your digestive system. Not good for your gut. So if I see anything at the grocery store that says diet salad dressing or fat free, I totally ignore it.
Yeah.
And here I am enjoying full fat creams and butters and oils, and I'm losing weight.
Yeah.
So that was a huge lesson for me too, because again, I never thought I could enjoy food unless, I wasn't allowed to unless I had the diet stuff. So
thank you for that. You reminded me of something when I first met my husband years ago. And I think one of the first breakfasts we had, or I had at his place, was bacon and eggs. And I went, bacon? I hadn't bought bacon for like 20 years, because to me that was like, not a, not a good food. And so, and he's going, really? And so, and I mean, this man is the same size for decades. And I look at him and he deprives himself of nothing. But I could see, he's one of my greatest teachers, because I could see that he would eat in a balanced way. There was nothing that he would not eat if he wanted it, but it was just the way he did it. And that was so telling for me, because I had foods that that were completely out of my mind. I never considered ever buying them again. And then when I would look at him, I'm going, wait a minute, how come he never ever worries about his weight or health or anything? He just eats in moderation and balance. And so you're right. And so with us, when we buy yogurt or anything, it's full fat, and it satisfies you more anyway, because the fat makes you filled. You're filled up, right?
Absolutely.
So anyways, we could probably talk for days. Thank you.
I love health and wellness. So thank you.
You and I, you and I are on the same page when it comes to health and wellness, and in mentoring other people with having a better lifestyle, a healthier lifestyle as well. So thank you so much, Maria, for joining me. And what I will say to our audience is, if you would like to know anything more about Maria, like I said, just go below this video. And as for me, if you would like to know more about the different virtues, as many of you know, I did write a book on 31 virtues. You can always go on to Amazon.ca or audibles.com, and you can learn about 31 of the virtues. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. Maria, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you and all that you do. And if you have a suggestion, a comment, or anything, just please leave it below the video and I will get back to you. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.